Hello, big, beautiful, loving planet called Earth. I've learned a great many things in my almost 35 years of life. But I'm not going to go on a rant of all the things that I've learned that are outside of YouTube. I'm going to make my main focus about all the things that I've learned while filming these vlogs every single day for the past 2,366 days. Look, I know that most individuals will get burnt out after a while or quit because they think that's the right choice for them. And maybe that is the right choice for them. But for me, I live my life, the way I want to live it, not on anyone else's terms or anyone else's opinions of me. But I will say this. Look, I've looked at all my subscribers that I've gained over the past 12 years, and I realized there's a majority of the subscribers of mine are men. And that concerns me a little bit. Because don't get me wrong, I don't want you guys to think that I'm being, that I don't appreciate all the subscribers that have subscribed to my YouTube channel over the past 12 years. But I thought it would be a lot more, it would be 50-50. For me, when I look at my subscriber count and I look at all of the individuals who subscribe to my channel, I say it's like 80% men, or maybe even more than that, maybe 85 to 90% men, and like 10% to 15% of them are women, which is odd to me because I want to be part of something bigger. I want all my subscribers to be equal amount of men versus an equal amount of women, and it's not. And I don't want you guys thinking that I'm belittling the men part of it. I'm just saying I thought there would be a lot more women that would be subscribed to my YouTube channel for the past 12 years, and there's not. And I'm not saying actually, that's not true. I would like to have more women subscribers on my YouTube channel, but that probably will not happen. And my main focus is that whenever I go outside, whenever I do something like go to a VidCon or go to Disneyland or go to another location in the world, I want to be around more women than men. And that's just my personal take on things. Don't get me wrong, I am a man. I understand that men are important I shouldn't say important, but men have a role to play. A small role, but a role nonetheless. And whenever I go to VidCon or go to an event like that, I prefer to meet mostly the women. And I'm not discriminating against men or any other, whatever gender you classify yourself as. But for me, I feel like there's a line that needs to go a little bit more in one direction than it has been. Like I said, 80 to 90% of my audience or my subscribers is men, and only like I said, 10 to 20% is women, which seems just off to me. And I know this may sound like I'm, being discriminatory against men, but I'm not trying to do that. All I'm saying is that I would prefer if there were more women subscribers than men. Because, like I said, it's a majority of the 627 subscribers are men. And don't get me wrong, I want the men to stay subscribed. I just prefer to have maybe more and more women subscribed than men are. And I know that it's not easy to have that many subscribers after all these years. I would like to have a lot more, basically. And I know that I've said in the past that I don't want that many subscribers, but we're getting to the point in my life, and I'm not burning out. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But it's, I have no intentions of quitting YouTube ever. At least not until I reach year 65. But the point in trying to make is that whenever I do become a featured creator, it's going to be interesting to see what my meetup's going to look like at a VidCon or at a Comic-Con or whatever it is in the future. Now, I still see that this channel, I want to make this perfectly clear. I want to see this channel grow and grow and grow and continue to grow until we get to 1 million subscribers. Till we get to, 5 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers. But I know that's not going to be easy. We've already made a little bit of headway towards that. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which I never thought I'd even, get anywhere close to that. But we're getting closer and we're growing and we're continuing to do the things that I love to talk about. I am very passionate about being on YouTube for the next 50-something years. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be around for another 50 years. But here's the thing. When I plan something, and when I set my mind to something, I'm going to continue to do it for the rest of my life. And that's what YouTube is for me. It will continue to be my passion. It will continue to be my love. And I will continue to do it for the rest of my life. Or until I can't really physically touch that record button. And I know I went on like 20 different tangents in this vlog. But the main thing you should take away from this is that I would like to have more women subscribers on this YouTube channel. And continue to have men subscribers. But, figure out how that... I'm trying to figure out how I can get more women to subscribe and more women to watch my YouTube videos. And maybe I have to read comments. And I know there's going to be some mean comments, but I'm going to ignore those for the most part. But yeah, that's the plan, is just to put my demographic and my algorithm more towards the women audience instead of the men. But don't get me wrong. I want the main audience as well. I'm a straight, white, cis man, so let's make that clear. And I will continue to be that for the rest of my life. No matter what happens in life, that's what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. However long that may be, whether it's getting to my 90th birthday or whatever that may be. Now this brings me to another point. I mentioned VidCon earlier in this vlog, and I want to talk a little bit about it. So, this year's VidCon there's 3 of them that are taking place this year. The one in Anaheim is towards the end of June. The one in Mexico, I believe, is in August or September. And then I believe the one in Baltimore is in September, October, something like that. And then once all 3 of those have been completed, they will set... at some point in October, November, they'll start getting ready for next year's event. Which the plan is, as of right now, is to go to next year's event. And when I say that, I mean I'm asking for it for Christmas this year and to get the industry pass, which I mentioned before. I'm not going to go into full detail of all that stuff because I've already talked about it. But when VidCon Anaheim, VidCon Mexico, and VidCon Baltimore are done, they'll start planning for next year's events. Whether it be in Anaheim, Mexico, Baltimore, wherever it may be, in 2025. And I'm ready to do that. So on my phone, I have a countdown to this year's VidCon, and we're at 112 days until this year's VidCon. Once that ends, I'll probably do a countdown to the Mexico version. Not saying I'm going to go to any of those 3. And then once that countdown's done, we're going to go to the we're going to count down to the Baltimore one. And then once that one's done, hopefully the ticket sales will go on sale sometime in October or November. And for this year's Christmas, I'll ask for that as a present for my whole family, which I talked about already. I don't know when that'll be. I'd have to go and look at the VidCon website and see when the Baltimore one ends. And then usually it's a month or 2 after the Baltimore one ends. That's when they start getting ready to sell the tickets for next year's event. So with that being said, I know that was a lot of me rambling about my demographic. We talked about a little bit about VidCon. We talked a little bit about the countdown to this year's VidCon for the Anaheim version. So let's just do birthdays and then see where we go from there. So I want to wish Mon Garrett a happy birthday. I would like to wish Coy Veitch a happy 25th birthday and Carolyn Kelly a happy birthday today as well. And that does it for birthdays, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new vlog, and bye-bye.